Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram on the Cricket Show, welcoming you all. This on a Saturday. Yes, it is a bit late in the evening, I would say. And well, as far as today's cricket show goes, we will have a sneak peek at last week's cricket events. And as far as today is concerned, the main focus would be the Big Bash Cricket League in Australia, which came to an end. And what an end we had! We had a match which was really exciting when it came towards the end with the young guns actually firing to take them to victory, which I'll be talking about in a very brief manner. So it will be a very short cricket show today. And also West Indies versus Zimbabwe. The first day of the first test match, it was rain hit, and it was West Indies all the way, which I'll be talking about. But first, let us look at some last week's cricket events that happened. Well, one man who has really made a big difference to Indian cricket right now is the young opener by the name Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill, now at the age of 23, in my opinion, has become the first ever player to have got centuries at an age of 23, a tender age of 23, in all the formats of the game. And he has really been a sort of a real thorn for New Zealand in this series. No wonder he was the player of the series. And what a player he's turning out to be. He has really caused a real sort of a selection conundrum right now for the selectors, because now what are the selectors going to do? Because he's someone who has made such an impact that it is going to be very difficult for India to even think of getting him, because I think he should be a sort of a permanent slot. I think Ishan Kishan might have to really work for his slot now. But what a player! I mean, the way he has been playing, that has been an absolute sight to watch. Not only that, he has also become the second person after Ishan Kishan to score a double century, and that is something. I mean, scoring a double century was that was something, a great achievement according to me, and the way he has handled the ballers, and especially he's someone who, if you look at his graph there, he starts off in a very sort of a very sober manner, ekes out runs, probably susses up the pitch, and then slowly he gets into top gear, and he then builds the innings. And when it comes to the final fling, as we call it, the death overs, he's absolutely unstoppable. He goes berserk, one could call, because the way he has hit the New Zealand bowlers, I mean, did not make any difference to him as to who was bowling. And looking at Gill every time gives you the feeling that he might well turn out into a Virat Kohli in the future. And I can tell you one thing: I have seen this player in the under 19 when India won the World Cup, and at that very moment, by looking at the way he was stroking the ball, I had already said he's looking like another Virat Kohli. And I'm so happy to see that Shubman Gill has gone a long way. And also, let's also understand that in a very brief test career, brief cricket career of his, at the age of 23, he has done something which I think no Indian batsman has done. He has got centuries in all formats of the game. He has scored a double century in such a short time, which not even Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli could do it. So this is something, I think, this particular kid, Shubman Gill, he's someone we are going to hear a lot about him in the future, no doubt about it. Maiden T20 100, he made, as I said, now he has a maiden T20 100 on all three formats of the game. And as I said, he's really causing, and I think for me, this man should be there in every cricket match that India plays. There is absolutely no room that you can say that Shubman Gill will be left out. And what a series we had against New Zealand. In the T20, India swamped New Zealand 3-0. but it was, I think, if you look at the takeaways, I think Shubman Gill was a big takeaway for India, no doubt about it. But other than that, for New Zealand, I thought Bracewell was a real takeaway, not only with his batting, with his bowling as well. And I don't know, the bowling, well, definitely, they definitely missed the services of Trent Bolt and Tim Southey. And other than that, the new bowlers, even though they tried a lot, but they were just nodding their head when Shubman Gill was playing his strokes. And Hardik Pandya, I mean, his captaincy has been top class, no doubt about it. He rings in the changes. He goes by the instinct. He has that killer instinct in him, and he has given a free rein to all the players to go there and express themselves, and that's what precisely has been happening. So definitely India, and India also looking very good in the league standings as well. Whether you take it test matches, whether it is one day, whether it is T20, they are doing a great job. So that's it. So New Zealand, the series between India and New Zealand is all over now. The Aussies have already set foot in India. I think they have already landed in India, if I'm not wrong. There's a lot of talk going on. As you know, there's a lot of hype going on right now. The cricket experts are telling that India might be crippled with the absence of Jasprit Bumrah and Rishabh Pant. There are a lot of talk going on. They're telling that in India, whenever the Aussies come, they normally are not given turning pitches when they are practicing. They are given pitches which are akin to what they have in Australia. But when it comes to the test matches, there is a real surprise as turning pitches are prepared and the Indian spinners run riot. But now, so this is going to be interesting. Let's also understand one thing, that the Aussies have to get acclimatized to the Indian climes, no doubt about it. That when they come here, this is going to be a big excuse for Australia, because they are not going to get any match practice, and they are immediately going to enter the first test match, and that is not good news according to me, because any team, according to me, which comes and lands into in the territory of the hosts, basically has to be given more time to acclimatize, get used to the pitches. And if at all that has been happening, where India has given like pacey pitches or batting pitches, and then I don't think that's the right way to go, because it is better to show the real face of it. And India have nothing to worry, according to me. India have all the backing, they have the support, they have a very good team, so there's no need for India to worry about anything. It's just a matter of um, uh, giving them the turning pitches, and pressing the spinners on. Even Australia have got some spinners. Nathan Lyon is a veteran. Ashton Agar could play a big role in India. That's what which coming from one of the Australian cricket experts, who has said that Ashton Agar could be someone who could be really watched in India, because of his turn, and also on Indian pitches. One thing, yes, turn is definitely their turn, spin, and this is going to be something very vital. But also one thing one has to understand, the best bet for Australia, according to me, will be to pick up the early wickets with the new ball. That should be the best bet, because once the ball becomes old on Indian tracks, it's going to be easy meat for the batsman. So one thing, another thing that Aussies can do is that they have to get into the reverse swing mode. The reverse swing will play a big role when it comes to the handling the old ball. So that is something that probably, and I'm sure, I mean, they went to Pakistan. In Pakistan also, it is almost like Indian pitches. So definitely, I'm sure that they are good at their art too. And Cummins, especially, who leads the show, who leads the team, is definitely a good exponent. He can reverse swing the balls as well. So one is really looking forward to the India Australia series. It should be a sort of a real riveting series, according to me, even though India does not have Jasprit Bumrah, who could be the prime strike bowler. But nevertheless, now let's change the topic here, and let's talk about the South Africa England series. Now, South Africa started off very well. They won the series, no doubt about it, the ODI series, and it's also helped them, definitely inch closer as far as automatic qualification is concerned for the World Cup in India this year. But one thing that South Africa needs to guard is that they have to win against Netherlands, probably the two matches. I hope they could put it across Netherlands, and then they have to wait for the Sri Lanka New Zealand series, and where Sri Lanka has to. I think they have to win at least one match, and New Zealand have to some sort of an equation is there. But the good news for South Africa, they really played well, no doubt about it. But the good news for South Africa is that Captain Bavuma came into some real form with his batting. I mean, what an aggressive approach he had. That was really, really refreshing, according, because there's been quite a long time since Temba Bavuma has not been in form, and here he comes. And I also have to say that the South African selectors, or the South African selection committee, has shown a lot of trust in this player, Temba Bavuma, and they decided to go with him and look at the results there. Temba Bavuma has done not only good service to himself, but by getting into form, but he has also be a part of the South African series victory against England. For England, barring the final ODI, nothing. But one big thing, one big not achievement, I would say one big takeaway for England was Jofra Archer in bowling action, not looking pretty sharp right away, but later on in the last match, he went on to pick up a fifer. He picked up 6 wickets, his best match haul of his ODI career, and that was something that will make everyone take notice. And Jofra Archer was just going away. I mean, he's back to his best, according to me. I know that he has taken a long break from injury, but he has really come up in wonderful fashion. And he went with his bouncers, with his slow deliveries, with his ball that swings, a lot of pace, bounce. So it was an absolute sight to watch Jofra Archer in full flight. So I think almost. I think I have covered last week's cricket, and we now leave from here, and we look at the current context of things. So as I said, just wanting to give you a sneak peek. There's nothing to really talk about in the first test at Bulawayo, where West Indies are touring Zimbabwe. I think it's a two-test series, if I'm not wrong. West Indies could bat. I'm just trying to see whether it is a two-test series, or I could not lay my hands on that, unfortunately. But the first test match at Bulawayo, rain hit totally. The openers grinded and played well. When play was called off due to rain, the West Indians, who won the toss and chose to bat, were 112 for none. Craig Brathwaite was not out 55, only 2 boundaries in that knock. And Tagnara and Chandrapal, who had a very good time in Australia when he made his debut there, was not out 55. 8 fours cracked in that particular 55 runs. 112 for none. The bowling, nothing to really much to talk about. Nagarava, 9 overs, 2 minutes, none for 23. Nyauchi, 15 overs, 5, none for 20. As you know, this is not a very strong Zimbabwean team. There's no Blessing Muzarabani and Chatara. I don't see anybody. There are a lot of debuts for the Zimbabwe. There are a lot of new faces, brand new faces in the Zimbabwean team. They have debuts for Taniruvo Makoni, Tafadva Siga, Innocent Kaya, and Brad Evans are making their debut. Brad Evans look good. 11 overs, 1 minute for 31. Nyauchi, none for 27. Wellington Masakadza was really, really superb. 9 overs, 4 minutes, none for 13. And Brendan Mavuta, the leg spinner, 7 overs, 1 minute, none for 18. So that's the Zimbabwe versus. So nothing to really talk about in Zimbabwe, but as I said, there'll be more talk going on in the Big Bash Cricket League that came to an end in Australia today, with the Perth Scorchers being crowned champions for the 4th time in Big Bash League history, with the Perth Scorchers winning by 5 wickets, and the player of the match going to Ashton Turner for his knock of 53, and Matthew Short got the player of the series. So looking at the card there, the Brisbane Heat actually batted first, and it was not very easy for the Brisbane Heat. They made 175 for 7 batting first. Josh Brown looked all at sea in the first over of Jason Behendoff, but came into his own to crack 25 of 12 deliveries, 4 fours, 1 6. Hazlett made 34 of 30, 2 fours, 1 6. Nathan McSweeney was rattling along very well, 41 of 37, 3 fours, 1 6. Sam Hain, 21. Bryant at the end cracked towards the end with 31 of 14, 2 fours, 3 sixes, 175 for 7. The bowling bandoff was good initially. I think he gave a testing time to Joshua Brown, 226. David Payne was a bit costly, 1 for 37. 2 for 37, Matthew Kelly. Haroon Hardy, 1 for 27. Copper Connolly and Andrew Ty, 1 for 42. Perth Scorchers, chasing 177 to win, were they got it done in the final over. But as I said, initially, if we look at the card there, 21 to Stephen Eskenazi, Cameron Bancroft made 15, Haroon Hardy 17, Spencer Johnson bowling at 150 clicks, got rid of Haroon Hardy, Josh English 26, Ashton Tanner was the man of the match. But definitely there was a bit of a fright because at 16.5 overs, Ashton Turner departed. It was the young guns, Nick Hobson and Copper Connolly at the crease. And there was still some time to go because, they needed another 40 odd runs. Just less than a tick under 40, one could call, 38 runs to be precise to win the match. And it could have been anyone's game with 5 wickets already gone. But I thought Copper Connolly really opened up. Also Nick Hobson, but Copper Connolly was the one who really opened up by cracking 25 unbeaten runs of 11 deliveries, 1 4 and 2 sixes. Nick Hobson did the same, not out 18 of 7, 1 4, 1 6, game over with Perth Scorchers, defeating Brisbane Heat in the finals by 5 wickets to be crowned four-time champions of Big Bash League. Michael Nasser, 3.0, but definitely had a very good commiserations to the Brisbane Heat team. 3.0s, 1 for 38. Bartlett, 1 for 31. Spencer Johnson has been someone who is looking very sharp, and he has been consistently bowling 150 clicks, which is great news for Australian cricket, according to me. They have Lance Morris, who is touring India this time. But it is going to be very interesting to see how Lance Morris shapes up in Indian wickets. As you know, Indian wickets are mostly featherbed wickets. And if Lance Morris can really extract something out of it, that would be great. As I said, for Australia, I think the pace resources are looking. I think Australia will be mighty pleased with the pace resources that are going to be at their disposal in the future. We know Jai Richardson, who has been bowling excellently. Well, his injuries have really dogged him, according to me, and I've always felt that Jai Richardson is someone who would have been a permanent part of this Aussie setup. He also has some great pace he bowls. So I think the Aussie pace resources to take over from Cummins, Stark, and the other bowlers are looking in great shape for the Aussies, according to me, because, as I said, one is Lance Morris, who is touring India, and then they have Spencer Johnson, who has been the talk of the tournament with his 150 clicks, consistent bowling at speeds of 150. And as I said, Jai Richardson is also there. So these 3 players, according to me, are going to be the future of the Aussie pace attack. Jai Richardson, Spencer Johnson, and Lance Morris. And it'll be interesting to see how Lance Morris shapes up in India when the Aussies are in India this week. Well, dear fans, subscribers, I think I had a good talk here on the cricket show today. Hope you all liked it, and looking forward to your company once again. That's tomorrow. That's on a Sunday. Till such time, I see you back here on this cricket show. This is your host, Ram, signing off. Thank you. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate your comments there. You like my thing? Okay, 1 minute. And it will no longer be live. Inspirational. Thank you, man. I have to wait. Okay, your stream will stop immediately. Okay, I'll have to end. And